Aren't you tired of saying what you want to do and not ever getting there? I know I was. I want to challenge you to be intentional. I want to challenge you to be consistent in your intentionality. And I want to challenge you to decide today to make that move so that you can live the life that you have designed for yourself. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken and this is Life Moves with Ken, because as we say, life really does move. I make content for people who've reached a plateau in their lives and they want change and they want to make a difference. And so if you're here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you're here and you're feeling like there's more in life that's for me, or you're feeling like, I know God has designed me for more, but I just can't figure out how to make the steps to get there, then you're in the right place at the right time. Today, we are going to talk about one key concept, which is the concept of intentionality. So come on, let's go. Have you ever thought about what intentionality means? Intentionality is the idea of being purposeful with everything that we do. It is the making decisions and then following up those decisions with another decision and another decision that gets us closer and closer to our goal each and every day. So if you're looking to be intentional, that means you're looking to make decisions for change. And that is the first step, making the decision. So let's kind of break this thing down. I know you're wondering, okay, that's pie in the sky, theoretical stuff, but how does this really work in the real world? And so let me give you an example. I remember when I was in school finishing up my doctorate, and my dissertation chair, she said to me, hey, Ken, here's what you've got to do. You have to decide that you want to be done in 4 years. That was my goal. So you want to be done in 4 years? Here's what it's going to take. And so she put me to the test of whether or not I wanted to get done. Her check was to see, will you meet this deadline so that we can see if you really actually want to be done in 4 years. And to meet that deadline meant that I had to work over a vacation, meant that I had to work a portion of every single day up until the deadline. And it meant that I had to turn that thing in while I was out of the country. Intentionality requires us to make a decision that there is no going back. There's only moving forward, and there is no other option but to finish what I've started. Now, how does that work in your life? What are the goals and the desires that you have? Have you actually sat down and said, this is the only thing that I can do. This is the drop dead thing that must be done. There is no other option. Because if you haven't made that decision, then you will continue to flounder in the maybe I'll get there, I could possibly get there. The first step is always the hardest. You have to decide. You have to decide that this is what I want. This is when I want it. This is how much of it I want. And I'm not willing to take anything less than what I desire. When you make that declaration, you make that decision, then you will feel the momentum and the energy moving you towards your goal. You will have there is no other option. So let me line up everything that I need to get to where I'm headed. And when that happens, you will be on your way to change. But here's the catch. Intentionality is not just about making a decision and then hoping that what you've decided on will happen. It's actually about showing up consistently to put the steps in place so that you actually get to where you're wanting to go. I mean, let's be honest. You've been talking about whatever that goal is for a bunch of years. You've been wanting to make the change. You've been talking about getting fit. You've been talking about getting your finances together. You've been talking about going back to school. You've been talking. But have you consistently done those simple, everyday, repetitive steps so that you can get there? You're not going to graduate from college if you won't be consistent in the work that you do. You're not going to have a great relationship until you decide that I'm going to do what it takes to have a great relationship. You will not get fit until you decide I'm going to make changes in my diet. I'm going to make changes in my everyday activity so that I can get and over time achieve the goal of fitness. Until we become consistent in what we're intentional about, we are only going to go but so far, and then we will fall back to where we were. So remember that goal that you had last year that you started January, and then by January 3rd, 10th, 25th, you were like, you may have made the decision, but you weren't consistent in your intentionality. You must be consistent, or else you're never going to get there. What I want you to understand is that change doesn't have to be drastic. It doesn't have to be the idea that today I save $1 and tomorrow I'm a millionaire. That's how I got my budget together. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is everyday disciplines so that you can reach the goal that you really desire in your life. It's really about the intentional steps that we take on a daily basis. So I invite you to join with me in a consistency commitment. Drop your goal in the chat. Tell me exactly what you're committing to so that we can work together. I promise you, I will reach out to you. I'll respond to your reply, and that we'll work this thing together. Come on, let's join together. There is strength in numbers. All right, that's all I have for you today. If you like this, or if it was interesting to you and might be interesting to someone else, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, what are you doing, man? Go ahead and subscribe. Join the community of Life Moves with Ken, and let's make life moves together, because life really does move. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that we can do this work together, and I'll see you next time. Bye.